her Houston.
Because you know what? I don't even mind if she sees this.
I don't.
Hey y'all, it's ChrystalChyna, and we're back with another story time.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Well, first, we definitely want to make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe
Right now.
Get your popcorn, get your drink, non-alcoholic, alcoholic if you want, and let's get into this tea. Period.
So this story time is basically a middle school experience that we had and that we've gone through. Like, if you know us personally, you know that our middle school years have a really big effect on our lives as we know them today. To a specific experience that we had in middle school, which concerns like bullying, colorism, and dating, even though we were in middle school. This is just the real.
And with this story, I mean, you would think it's something that happened in high school, but Chris and I were homeschooled, so we were homeschooled after 9th grade, so we didn't really have like a high school life. This took place in our first year of middle school. This was 6th grade. I think this was like the second semester, and we had started off with a group of friends that we knew from our elementary school. I mean, essentially, they weren't really our friends, and we really didn't fit in with them. We just tried to do things to fit in with them, like just doing certain things that weren't of ChrystalChyna's nature.
Right.
Like being loud and just like, we just weren't those girls, but we wanted to be friends with them for some reason. I don't know why. And we just followed whatever they did. To middle school with us, her name was,
we're gonna say, you know, like, y'all, we don't do real names,
right?
But we try to keep it as realistic as
close
possible.
to, right?
So we gonna call her Houston.
You know what? I don't even mind if she sees this.
I don't. We gonna call this Houston.
We gonna call her.
We gonna call her Houston. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gonna call her Houston.
Houston was a girl that we went to elementary school, and like Chyna was saying, we ended up going to middle school. So the thing with our middle school was, you were either going to, like, I guess, Palm, Webster, or Paul Revere Middle School.
It's in Brentwood.
It's in Brentwood, California, and that's a white neighborhood. So we were going to school with the white kids, and the black kids like us who were being bussed in from our neighborhood to go all the way to Paul Revere.
Right.
So,
and mind you, even though we lived in Baldwin Hills, the nearest bus stop was at Crenshaw High School. So that was our bus stop. So a lot of the kids who went to Angeles Mesa and went on to go to Paul Revere, their bus stop was at Crenshaw too. So we all went to the same school and the same bus stop. So there, you always have to see these people.
Right. Our 6th grade. I just remember the first day of 6th grade just being very, just not really like a great experience. I would say, like, I was already teased, or we both were already teased in elementary school, but like 6th grade just became more brutal. I'm just so proud of my little first day of school outfit. Our mom had gotten us like these matching limited 2 outfits that none of the girls, of course, were. I mean, none of them were wearing it, and we had these matching backpacks. Like, we had everything like set, and I just remember my mom like doing my hair, like, you know, when how little black girls, how we wear our hair after it's just been like in a press. She had my hair like in like a high ponytail, like, you know, like just really like a calm ponytail with like my little baby hair, just really cute. And short like hoodie type of shirts with like the little hoodie in the back, and we would wear with leggings. That's what I wore, and it was like brown and blue and white. That was like the thing, the colors back then were limited to, and I had a matching backpack that were the same exact colors, and I was fly. I thought I was fly, and Chyna had on the same thing, but I think hers is like pink or something. And I just remember like people, I thought I felt fine, but I just remember time riding a school bus to actually go to school. Like, my parents always dropped me off at school, so I was not used to that.
Right.
I just remember getting on the bus, and of course there's older kids that are on their way to high school, and you're getting on the school bus with them, and they're like teasing you. So I just remember that being like traumatic, and that was like the setting stone of how my middle school years were going to be. Like, dang, she dark, like stuff like that. Like, you know, just being attacked and you're not even saying anything. 6th grade.
So 6th grade. So it's, I think this is like the beginning of like middle of the second semester, and sadly so, it was right before our dad died. It was just so much that happened.
We were only 11.
Yes, we went through a lot that a lot of kids should not have had to go through. But okay, actually, starting off in the beginning of 6th grade, just the like beginning semester, Crystal, there was a guy that we kind of already knew. He did go to Angeles Mesa for some time, but we knew him from cheerleading because Crystal and I used to cheer with the Snoop League. Snoop Dogg used to have a league of different
like Pop Warner football teams,
and we used to cheer for the Greater Crenshaw Bears. So what we gonna call him? What? No. Okay, no. We gonna call him Julian. He used to play for the Greater Crenshaw Bears. That's kind of how we knew him already. We weren't friends, but we knew him. And he was a grade ahead of us, so he was in 7th grade. And we were cool, I guess.
Like, every girl thought he was cute. Like, you know, like, when you're in middle school or elementary school, you always have the crush on, like, the little light-skinned mixed boy. Like, every girl, like, liked him. And then when I started 6th grade, I was just hanging out with those group of girls. And those group of girls so happened to be hanging out with the 7th graders who, Julian, you know, like, that whole crowd. Right. Like, they were in that. I just developed this big crush on Julian. I did. I went like, we used to ride the same school bus too, and he would always be like, he would always want to sit next to me, and now that I look at it, it's like maybe I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. Maybe it's like, maybe it was a joke because I was already being teased at school.
Trust me.
I don't trust many people now. But I'm just saying, like, that's why even today, that's why we're going to get into the story. But even today, I don't, when people say they like me or they think I'm cute, I really think they're lying. Right. I'm not saying that I don't feel things about myself, like I don't have confidence, but like I really feel like somebody trying to set me up. Houston.
She was, her and Crystal were supposed to more closer than me and her. So Houston and I were cool. We were friends, but we were not as friendly as, well, Houston was making it between her and Crystal.
Back in MySpace days. We started 6th grade in the fall of 2007, so MySpace was still hot.
But you know what I mean? Like we were
ahead of our time in some aspects.
Yes, we weren't, me and Crystal.
Not us.
We didn't do,
but like the friend
group.
Right, the friend group.
The friend group.
Okay, so me and this girl Houston, we were like supposed to be really close, you know, like, but she was just run all over me, really. It wasn't even about being close. She would just really run over me because she knew that I would just do anything. It doesn't matter. It's like I really did not react to anything.
Right.
Even though things would hurt my feelings, like I had been used to people hurting my feelings for so long that I would just sit and take it. So she took advantage of that. So like there would be times where, mind you, when we started 6th grade, she was 10 because her birthday was later than everybody else's. So technically, if you're in the LAUSD school system, or if you have been, there's like a certain cutoff. I'm not gonna say her birthday because I'm not gonna like get.
Fuck it. Was her birthday December 9? Somewhere around there. It was after the cutoff, and her mama forged it so she can be in our class.
And you know, a lot of girls in our group, we were already really developed body wise. For her, like, taking very explicit pictures for a 10-year-old. And she, like, sometimes there would be pictures where we would look, I guess, older. 6th grade, she would be like, I'm 16, I'm 15, stuff like that. And I remember, like, sometimes she would be on punishment and she would have me log into her MySpace.
And we were so clueless.
We were so like
why
naive.
is she having like us log into her MySpace? Like, why can't she do that herself?
So
we were very naive because we didn't get put on punishment like that.
No. Her MySpace, and there would be like older men in her DMs. That don't even sound right. Her inbox at the time, right? Her inbox. and they would be like, they would be grown, like they would have already been out of high school. And mind you, we had just started sixth grade.
We weren't even in high school.
We weren't even in high school yet. So she was already like
2007.
This is 2007. She was already ahead of herself. I don't want to say the word grown because I don't like to sexualize children, but at that time those were the words that we was using. She was grown.
She was doing too much.
She was doing a lot. She was ahead of herself. So,
and not to excuse the guys that was communicating with her,
because that's not right.
Like, it's not right.
No.
But
yeah, I would, just check her messages and reply for her, and just do anything. And then I was already very into fashion at a young age, and I knew everything. Like our parents like they let us express ourselves any way. Like me and Chyna were very into fashion, very young. I would be fly, and she would be trying to borrow my bamboo earrings, because that's what we were wearing at the time. Like we were trying to look like Tiana Taylor and stuff like that. She would be.
We were trying to look like skater girls. Like that's when like for real, like the ice cream thing was like really hot, like Bates.
Exactly.
Like we was really trying to emulate that stuff because we were really into fashion.
Right.
So everything that we got for Christmas or whatever, like our parents really did take the time out to make sure ChrystalChyna was good.
Exactly. Exactly. So she would be trying to borrow my clothes, my earrings, and my dumb self would let her. Other people were trying on my stuff, and that was one time I was like, that's just not cool. Like I told her. But anyway, it was just stuff like that of her using me and walking all over me. And I believe early in 6th grade, her and Julian, they were already messing with each other. Even though she had already known that I like had a crush on Julian, I still was quote unquote supportive of their relationship. And then there was a time where they broke up, and she was trying to like hype me up to, I guess, go after him. And now looking back, like when you get older and you be like, did they set me up? Because it was just like little things. It's like, why are you hyping me up, and why is he like? It was just weird. Like my grandmother was sick in the hospital, and me and my mom had stayed there. Like it was late, and this is when I had my psychic LA. This is when AIM. We didn't even text message. We was on AIM.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I text message every once in a while if I was talking to my mom or something. But like everybody communicated on AIM.
Exactly.
And me and Crystal, we always had the hottest like electronics. So of course we had the psychic LA
on at the time, and I remember talking to Julian on AIM, and he was really making it like he liked me. Mind you, like I was saying before, like on the school bus, he would be trying to sit next to me and trying to like rub on me and touch on me and stuff like that. Houston,
she would say, oh yeah, like that picture, that body, that's real.
Yeah.
And when Crystal would like upload a new picture on her sidekick, and she would be like, oh yeah, that picture, that's for Julian. Like, oh yeah, that body, that's for Julian. And of course, Crystal like, oh, you think so? Because we're only 11. Like this is like puppy love. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not looking at it as anything serious, but it's like, dang, somebody might actually like me. Wow.
Back to me being at the hospital with my grandmother, and I was on my sidekick talking to Julian on AIM. Had to catch myself. I almost said his name. And he was just like, yeah, like, like I like you and blah blah blah, and like I do, like he was like, he said something about yeah, like I mean I do want you to be my girlfriend, but you can't tell anybody. So that was my first thing. And like when people, I don't want to be seen, or like let's just keep it low, and I'm like, well, what's wrong with me? Why people don't want to be seen with me? So I've always had that problem, and it always triggers me when I talk about that, because it's really because of that one instance where you're literally saying, and I understand that I'm only 11 and we were kids, but like kids can be very evil. So
yeah, that's not an excuse.
That's not an
we
excuse.
We were not like that.
I wasn't like that as a child. Okay,
like people are gonna
do
be how they want.
intentionally.
Exactly. It don't matter what the age is.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
you guys were kids. So like,
it's like, no,
we're old enough
to know better. If we were old enough to know about sex, people underestimate what kids know. Because a lot of girls, there were sex tapes going around at school. Not of me or her. Not of us. But there were sex tapes, which is child pornography, of children going around from our... Like, I even remember one time, like, I had gotten out of my first period class or whatever. And, him, like, finding me and him coming up, you know, like how a guy comes up from behind and he puts his arm around your neck. He put his arm around my neck, and we're just walking. And then, like, I just remember this 8th grader asking him, he was like, "Is this your girlfriend?" And I think Julian has shook his head like, yes. And he was like, "Ugh, she ugly as hell." Or I'll just say hell because that's not what he said. But I'm trying to keep it as mild as possible. Okay, and
see, that's why I don't have friends today. No, because it's just like I just really have a hard time trusting people.
Yeah, like, so that really triggered me. It still triggers me now, but like I just remember that instance of like, it's like, dang, I really have problems today where I'm like, people really don't. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I know that that's just like, that's a people problem, not my problem.
Right. Well, with Julian, I wanted to be like so bad as far as like just having friends, and I'll be like, "Hi, best friend." I was being so annoying like that.
Yeah,
I really hate.
about
I
that.
know it's really hard for me to acknowledge because I hate that part of my life. But I used to be that annoying girl. Like, "Hi, best friend," because I just wanted to have friends. I did. I had no like real solid friends.
Remember when we first got to 6th grade, Julian had already had a girlfriend. Her name, I'm not gonna say her name. Ashley. I'm gonna just say Ashley.
We don't know where that child is.
Okay, was it Brittany?
Yeah, her name was Brittany. There's a lot of Brittany's out there.
Okay, and I just remember because Houston didn't like her because she wanted Julian. I couldn't like her either. And I just remember like people used to gossip about me having a crush on Julian, and it used to just be thrown back in my face. And I remember like older kids used to come up to me because he used to have a lot of different girlfriends.
Yeah, I remember this one girl. This was like in the morning. In the morning before school started, you would kind of hang out like at the lunch tables. We used to do that sometimes. And she came out to our table and she was like, "Which one of y'all like Julian?" And we were like, I don't even know how it was even pointed out that it was you.
Because it was, I'm going to say Russia.
Oh, those. See, that's how. Right, for real.
That's
it was another friend and her sister's crew. That's right, they were with us, and another friend. Okay, I will just call her Russia. We'll call her Russia. So Russia and her sister's crew were with us. Mind you, her sister's crew, they were in 8th grade. Right. So they were about to graduate. So they were older than us. And I guess, yeah, you're right. They're the ones that pointed at Crystal when the girl came to the table. And I'm like,
I was like, dang, like nobody got
what
my
have I ever done to y'all? Like, for y'all to just point me out like that. Like, me and Crystal are not like people that just want to be fighting.
No.
I'm not saying I don't know how to fight or I won't fight, but I'm just not like a person that just gets up and says, I feel like fighting.
Right.
I'm not that kind of girl. I'm
not a violent
we were
person.
not.
I wasn't even raised like that.
I'm not a fighter in that sense.
I will fight if I have to.
I will fight you.
Like, I'm just not gonna let you fight.
Right, but I'm not about to I don't let things just get there just because. I don't. First of all, a lady, I don't let nobody take me there unless I have to.
You're not gonna get me out of myself.
No.
That's why it's really.
And looking back, I should have reacted more.
I should have.
Those
things I should have
reacted more.
Because it really would have saved me a lot of.
But then
trauma.
I'm like, looking back, I'm like, was certain people. See, this is why I don't trust people. Because with certain people, like having different people come up to you.
Right.
And be like, which one of y'all da 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 da. After it, I feel like somebody's trying to set me up.
And looking back, I don't even remember the follow up from that question.
Right.
She really had no reason to do that.
Right. Because I don't remember the rebuttal either.
No.
I don't remember anything after that.
No, I just remember her coming up to me, and she was a year older than him.
Mm-hmm.
She was in 8th grade. First semester, 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna keep it as brief as possible, but we
just want to make sure we give you guys the
whole
backstory, so you guys know like what we'll be leading up to.
Exactly. Houston, who I was still friends with at this time, got into a fight with another one of our friends. We gonna call her Lyric. I'm gonna call her Lyric.
It's so funny because literally these names are so close
to their name.
It actually is like the opposite of what their names are. So if you see this video, bling bling bling, this is mad.
Okay, so Houston got into this big fight with Lyric. This was right before any period. This was before homeroom or anything, right? And she got into this fight. I don't even know what they were fighting for. I can't even remember.
I can't remember either. I just remember Houston cleared out the Lyric things in her locker and just left it on the ground.
Which is evil.
Which is mean. And Lyric saw it.
That's what I'm talking about. She really was a mean girl.
Yeah, she really was mean. And I'm like, I wish I was more vocal about saying like, don't do that. Right. But I was just so caught up on having people as friends. I didn't speak up enough when I should have. And that's one thing I do regret too. Fighting. And then the gag is
I think she left it there overnight for her to see it the next day.
Really?
I feel like she did, or maybe she did it that morning.
I remember her doing it the morning.
Okay, well yeah, something like that. She did it the morning of so that she could see it and make this big thing. That's how evil this girl Houston was. Okay, right. She was not a good person. No, let's just keep it 100.
So they almost fought. Somebody broke it up before they actually started because Lyric. It's so funny. First of all, Lyric was very aggressive, and I don't want to say that word. She was a known fighter. How about that? In middle school, she was a known fighter. And I remember telling Houston, I was like, she almost beat you up. She was so mad.
No,
and I'm like, but it's the truth. And I'm like, you're acting like you're over here like talking about her like you're big and bad. And I'm like, she is a known fighter. And somebody saved you in the nick of time before she got up in that ass.
See, you did tell the truth.
I did. Okay, I did tell the truth. I did. And that wasn't even me trying to be mean to Houston. That was me trying to check her because she's over here talking like she's somebody.
And it's like you almost got checked.
Yes.
And she still cleared you even without even putting her hands on you.
Right.
She still did.
Yes, she still did. I'm like, that's one thing about Houston. Never mind. We're going to get to that part. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
Okay.
So with the reason that we brought them up is because shortly after, like Lyric, even though she was going to beat up Houston, she like literally was begging for Houston to be her friend.
Because, okay, I'm going to describe Houston to you guys, okay? Houston, I don't even care if she sees this. I really don't. No. I'm describe her and to why people wanted to be her friend so bad. But there was nothing special about her. Just the fact that she looked a little different than every other kid in school. She was still black. So mind you, Houston was the only girl in school that was like a red hair girl. She had freckles and like red skin. I don't really consider her light skin, but of course in school, because nobody knows what red skin is, they just put her in that category because she wasn't dark.
Right.
So she was like a redhead girl, like with the freckles, the red skin, the sandy, sandy red skin. So she looked a little different than the rest of us.
Right.
So that's why it's like she was really the popular girl. Like everybody wanted to be friends with. She was a user. She really
wanted to get her way, honey. That's one thing you can't take away from her. She know how to finesse in.
Right, exactly. So she know how to get her way. We might have to make a part 2 to this one.
We might have to make a part.
We might have to make a part 2.
Comment below if you want a part 2.
But anyway, just to shorten up this one, just to describe her, like that's why people really wanted to be cool with her, because everybody thought she was so cool and so different when she really wasn't. She really had no substance. It was just the way she looked. So Lyric, even though Lyric almost beat her ass, she almost did. Lyric had some hands. Lyric was beating up boys, okay, in school. She crawled right back under Houston just to be her friend. And for the life of me, I just couldn't understand. So, you know, just going back to us saying, you know, Houston was hyping me up to be with Julian and blah, blah, blah. Because remind you all, Houston and Julian, I guess, were boyfriend and girlfriend after she took him from the girl Brittany, the white one.
Even though Houston still overall knew that you liked him first.
Yeah, she did. She knew that I liked him first. But I was supportive of their relationship, right?
Are we about to get into it?
We're about to get into it. Oh, I remember. It was like...
What part of the school year is this?
This is... I guess you can say this is second semester by this time. And then I guess Houston and Julian called themselves getting back together, and I was still trying to be supportive. And I just remember one time she had said that she was like, Crystal, you just being a little too thirsty, because I was being supportive of their relationship, like saying like cute little things, or you know, I will send stuff, and it's like, you just being too thirsty, you need a glass of water. I remember her saying that, and my feelings were so hurt. And then I just feel like there was just tension, I guess you can say, like in between that time. Like I just remember me walking with her like during lunch in school, and by that time, you know, the limited 2 backpack I had, because I was really like one of those nerdy kids.
We both were
nerdy, and I used to have all my books in my big backpack, and my back would literally hurt. Like the other kids, they didn't bring no school books. They didn't care about school. Like no. I was so nerdy. Like I would bring my backpack and have all those heavy books in my bag, and the bag eventually the strap had just torn off because it was so heavy because of me carrying those books every day. So my dad had just came back from like Tennessee State University's like homecoming, and he had a backpack that I could use. So in the meantime, and I just remember walking with her to lunch, and I had that backpack on, and she was like, Chrissy, you can't be walking with me like that. You just look like a loser. And I was just like, again, I really used to just take, I guess, verbal abuse and just not say anything. I really did not have a voice. Like I just felt like it was never going to get better. So there was just tension, and you know, she would just keep saying things, and I don't really know what exactly brought on us just not talking.
I remember she would post things on Facebook, and MySpace. And you know, like you can post things on your actual profile, it would be like the clique. And I always thought being a part of a clique was very lame. I never wanted to. It was like some name of the clique. Oh my God, I cannot remember it. I was like, I don't really want to be a part of this, but I think we both so happen to be in the picture. And in the caption, it was talking about you being thirsty, and I'm like, you're being so thirsty by doing this. Yes, we looked at it together. See, I'm sorry, I'm bringing back old memories that we forgot about and we buried, but we bringing them back.
I don't even remember that. Was that when we went to her birthday for Chuck E. Cheese? See how young we were.
I don't think the picture was of that. Yes, we didn't know. It was of us on like the schoolyard at Revere. But okay, so let's get into this. We just wanted to, like I said before, we just wanted to give you guys the backstory of what we're leading up to, because it was so much that happened before this.
And we still not even saying a lot.
We not even saying a lot because I'm trying to spare a lot of you folk out there, because I know it's gonna be a few people watching this like, oh, they talking about.
Yes,
okay, so let's get into that part. You know, like what even happened?
I don't even remember.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember how it just feels like, honestly, when it comes to this particular day, it does feel like a blur.
Yeah.
It does.
Because I've blocked out a lot of things.
I do. I know that you guys weren't talking.
We weren't talking, and I think it was the whole thirsty thing that, you know. Like, that's why I really don't have.
And the gagging lyric was a part of calling her thirsty too. Just thirsty people thirsting after each other, calling us thirsty. I don't get it, but you know, that's what we get into. We're getting on the bus after school. You know, leaving. It was a long ride back home. The routes they would take, it would take us forever just to get back to Crenshaw. I think, me and you, Russia was on the bus, and I just remember, the thing too, our bus driver, he was young, and he let the kids on the bus do things that we really should not have been doing. Not anything particular that me and Crystal partook in. A lot of the times they would have like Freaky Friday on the bus, and this is what he facilitated. Right, like he would allow us to do it. We would basically like do it like every other Friday. And if he would see his boss driving his bus like around our route, we would have to like hide and stop what we were doing. Now, I say we very loosely because Chris and I were not really doing anything. Right. We would basically, I hate to throw this out there, it's kind of like assault basically. Like, guys would like dance and grab you and like hump on you and do things that really made you uncomfortable. I never liked it. But I never was like the aggressor. Right. So I was just always the one that was picked out. This is why I always feel like I was being set up. Right. Like, I really feel that way. But when this is one time we did the bus ride. Right. So this particular day, that's why I'm saying the bus driver, he used to allow us to do certain things. So on the bus ride home after school, Houston and Julian decide to sit with each other on the bus. This is when they was getting back together. Whatever. This is to get back at me. Exactly. For some reason, even though literally, and we've let Julian out of a lot of this story because he was doing things behind Crystal's back too. He would like portray himself in one light in front of her, and then let's say at the Angeles Mesa Library, because Crenshaw High School was down the street from Angeles Mesa, so sometimes we would just walk to the library and do our homework. And he would go and hang out with old friends there and talk about Crystal. But then he was a little bitch. I'm sorry, excuse my language. I don't like to cuss, but he was a little bitch. He would go back and be in Crystal's face and like, oh yeah, you know, blah blah blah, all up on her, and then go back with the little bitch and talk about her and talk about, oh, she's black as this and she's black as that on the way home from school. How you like me now?
Cause where are you? I was beautiful then, but like, come on, like, I'm a freaking goddess now. Period. So on the way home from school, Houston and Julian decided to sit together, and me, Crystal, and Russia, we're all like, okay, whatever. And mind you, because they were sitting together, the whole school knows how I already felt about Julian, and how I had this like, I really like Julian, right? The whole school bus was looking at me like, Crystal, right? No, like I would never let anything like that happen in my face ever again. But they were like sitting together, and I'm not even gonna say sitting together because they was doing a whole bunch of sexual stuff. Right. Okay. She was laying on his lap. She was on top of him and kissing. And this is on the school bus. The bus driver can see. He's like laughing and thinking it's cute. Like they're like making out like grown folks. Yeah. Like she all over him, and we're just like, what the hell is even happening? I would refuse to even look. Right. Like, because I just felt like they were taunting me. Right. That's really what it was. That's why I'm gonna get to that. They were taunting me. Yeah. And I just remember Russia being like, Crystal, like look. Right. And I just really didn't even want to look because I knew that it was just gonna break me. Right. Because I just felt like I don't even think in that time I knew it was being mean, that they were being mean. I just didn't really, I don't know if I knew that this would really have like this big effect on my life. So just on the bus, okay, so we finally make it to our stop. It was a long, so they was doing all that humping and kissing. I'm talking about we driving from Brentwood to Crenshaw High School. That's not like a 20-minute drive. Like it's not
down the street. That is a few highways, okay? That is a few cross streets. They was flipping it up and rubbing it down. They probably was doing more than what I could make out. See. Exactly. So
that is so funny.
So, we finally make it to Crenshaw.
And this is when our father was still alive.
This is right before
our dad died.
And it's just
it's just like, imagine
and a lot of people knew our dad too. And the things that they did after it's just like,
this is why we need a part 2.
This is why we do need a part 2. We do need a part 2. So, this, I want to call her, I don't want to call her out her name, even though that is her name. So Houston, so when we get to the bus stop at Crenshaw High School, right in front, she's literally like waiting. She's like waiting
for me to come
for Crystal to get off the bus. Like literally, she's waiting to see Crystal get off the bus and see her response. And so is Julian and his other friend. What we gonna call his other friend? Christian.
Subliminal. I don't even care. No. I don't even care that I still have not healed from that. Like
they were all basically waiting.
This is why I feel like now that I'm older, and even talking about this, I really felt like they were setting me up for something to happen. So by them waiting for me to get off the bus, for what?
Right. You never done that before.
You never done that before. They were waiting for me to get off the bus. Houston, where the door for the bus is, she's standing right there. And I just remember looking at her. I just did. And I walked by. And I just remember like tears coming. Because first of all, I was embarrassed because people already knew like I was very quiet and sensitive. So they were already like, another thing they would pick on was me being like a crybaby. But it wasn't really a crybaby. But like if I'm crying in like privacy and you so happen to find me, it's because like literally somebody just did something very mean. Right. Like literally every day, I cannot recall a good day in middle school or 6th grade specifically. Like that was like growing up. And I'm like getting like so emotional even talking about it. But like I just remember just walking. It just felt like a slow walk to my dad's car because our dad was already waiting for us at the bus stop. Thank God.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because I don't know what would have happened. I felt like, girls are very vicious. So somebody could have jumped me. I don't know. For what reason? Who knows?
I mean, that's something that they would have to explain.
That's something that they would have to explain.
That they are.
Yeah. But I was so glad that my dad was there. And Chyna, she was... Because... Julian and Christian called themselves coming up from behind to me like, Crystal, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, and I just wasn't saying anything. I was just like, I don't know, nothing. I was like, nothing's wrong. And I just was trying to just get to my dad's car, like just trying to get to my dad's car.
It felt like he parked.
It felt like he parked away, but it wasn't really a far. It wasn't a far walk. It just felt like that.
It was like them slowing you down from getting in the car. Like, can you? What was I doing?
You were just like, leave her alone, leave her alone. Like, Chyna, like, leave. I think at that point, Chyna, you really just got, like, you were just, like, kind of fed up with them. So, yeah, you were just like, leave her alone, leave her alone.
Was I cussing?
You probably were. We had gotten the okay a few times to curse in middle school. So, and the walk, it just felt so slow, and Chyna's like, don't, leave her alone, leave her alone. And she's trying to grab me so we can get to our dad's car faster. It's like, leave us alone.
Right.
And then as soon as I hit my dad's car, like my dad could see like something was wrong.
He's like, what's wrong?
He was like, what? He was like, I'm not leaving. He was like, I'm not leaving till I find out what's wrong. Like, he was very upset. Like,
I was like, Daddy, just go.
I was like, Daddy, just go.
Because literally, I'm not kidding you.
I know.
I told my dad to go because I was about to hop out that car. Because even as we were driving away, Houston was still there smiling. I was about to hop out that car and fuck her up. And till this day, I still feel like I have, and I don't know if I should have this regret, but I still have like a regret of not beating her ass. I should have. I don't know why I just didn't do it. Because I knew she couldn't fight.
Right. Yeah, all but no right. I really should have.
not too long after that, like our dad died, like about like 2 months after, and it's just a lot of things that happened. But I think the learning lesson is for us to just stick together
and stick up for yourself.
Stick up for yourself. If you are in 6th grade and happen to stumble across this video, please learn from us. Please don't hesitate.
Follow people.
Don't be a follower. Be your own person. And I know it's hard to be that at such a young age, but do it as hard as you can. Be your own person.
If y'all want a part
two for about our middle school life, please like, comment, and subscribe. Or put in the comments below what y'all want next. But if you want a part 2 about what happened the year after, as far as like our middle school years and 7th grade, please let us know. And we will get back to y'all on that. We just want to know what y'all want. Right. We want to do what y'all want to do. What y'all want us to do. Right. But we love you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find all of our information in our bio
at ChrystalChyna
in the description.
We love y'all. Bye.